singing for the next hour for you. Just some of my favorite songs that I like to sing, and so it'll be a mixture of songs today with some folk and folk rock and little country music. So anyway, I'd like to start off with a song by Creedence Clearwater called Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And it was written by the lead vocalist and guitarist John Fogerty. Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm. I know it's coming for some time. When it's over, so they say, it'll rain on a sunny day. And I know, shining down like water, I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Yesterday and days before, the sun is cold and the rain is hard. I know it's been that way for all my time. Forever on it goes, through the circle fast and slow. I know, but it can't stop. I wonder, I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen rain coming down on a sunny day? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? I want to know, have you ever seen the rain? Well, I want to know, have you ever seen the rain coming down on a sunny day? Coming down on a sunny day. Thank you. Well, one of my favorite country folk singers is John Denver, and this is a song that he collaborated on with a couple of friends of his that actually was that later became part of his background singers. And so it's Bill Danoff and Taffy Nivert. They were a husband and wife team, and they actually started writing this song before John Denver heard it. And interestingly enough, they actually were inspired to write this song on the back roads of Maryland. And so they were driving through, and they had all these ideas about this song, and they really got excited about it. Well, the story goes that Bill Danoff was actually, after he had started this song, he had intended to sell it to Johnny Cash. And so there was where they were and where they lived was close to Washington, D.C., and so John Denver was doing performances there in Washington, D.C., and so they did a club called the Cellar Door. And so John Denver was actually doing the headliner that night, and Bill and Taffy were doing the opener for that show. And so they did their show, and then afterwards this couple invited John Denver to come over to jam for the night. And so as they were jamming, they introduced this song to John Denver and said, you know, that they had intended to sell it to Johnny, and John says, no, don't do that. I want to do this song. And so anyway, they stayed up all night writing the bridge to this song, which John Denver had a big part in. And so they shared the lyrics to that club the next night, and it got a big standing ovation for 5 minutes, and they thought this is going to be a great song. So anyway, John Denver ended up recording this back in 1971, and so it definitely became a hit. And one of the things that people may not know is that John Denver was his professional name. That wasn't his real name. His real name was Henry John Deutschendorf Jr. So anyway, his father was a military man. He grew up in a military family, and I think his father passed away in Denver, and they lived in Denver. So maybe that's where he got his last name, John Denver. But so anyway, I thought that was interesting. But I wanted to share some of that history with you, because I think it just makes it more interesting to hear the progression of how these songs are written. So a lot of what I'll do is I'll share how these songs came about and what the inspiration was for these artists. But so John Denver. Almost heaven, West Virginia, the Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. All my memories gather round her, a miner's lady, stranger to the water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. I hear a voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio remind me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been there yesterday. Yesterday, hey, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. Well, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads. Thank you so much. This next song is a song I really like a lot. It's probably one of my favorite country songs. It was written by a guy named Don Gibson, who actually was known in the country circles as the sad poet. And I thought that was interesting. And so because a lot of the songs that he wrote were either sad songs or lonesome songs, and so he was sitting down one day and he thought, I'm going to write me a love ballad that's just has kind of that lost love salad, or that lost love ballad, the sad tune. And so anyway, he wrote this. Actually, he wrote 2 songs on the same day. He wrote this one, I Can't Stop Loving You, and another song called Oh Lonesome Me, and they ended up being hits on a single that was back to back on an A and B side. And so I thought that was that's a nice nice blessing there when you could have 2 hits written in one day, you know. So, but anyway, this is I Can't Stop Loving You. I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memory of the lonesome time, and I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday, with those happy hours that we once knew. Though long ago, they still make me blue. They say that time heals a broken heart, but time has stood still, oh, since we fell apart. Well, I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memory of the lonesome time, and I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Well, I can't stop loving you. I've made up my mind to live in memory of the lonesome time, and I can't stop wanting you. It's useless to say, so I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. So I'll just live my life in dreams of yesterday. Thank you. All right, this next one is also a country song. It's I love the lyrics to this song. This was written by a couple of guys, Don Schlitz and Paul Overstreet, and so the interesting inspiration of this song was that they got together and they decided they wanted to write a song, and they had writer's block. And they couldn't come up with anything, so they were thinking, well, you know, maybe we just need to come up with a song that just says nothing at all. And so I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting concept, to write a song that says nothing. And so anyway, they came up with this #1 song that just took the storm with several artists, and Keith Whitley, Alison Krauss, another guy from Ireland, Ronan Keating, and so all of them ended up making #1 hits out of this song. But I love the song and the meaning that's behind it. How can you write a song that says nothing at all? But you know, sometimes in life, you know, especially men, sometimes they have trouble communicating themselves to their wives or to their girlfriends or friends, and sometimes they just don't know what to say. And sometimes you don't have to say anything, because the look on your face, the smile on your face, the look in your eyes, sometimes says it all. And that's what this is all about. You don't have to say anything, because sometimes your body says it more clearer than what your words can actually say. When you say nothing at all, Well, it's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. Well, the smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. Now you say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you drown out the crowd. Oh, Mr. Webster could never define what's being said between your heart and mine. Well, the smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. Yeah, the smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. Now you say it best when you say nothing at all. You say it best when you say nothing at all. 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 Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Well, this next one is a fun little country song that a lot of the places I go like to hear. And this was written by a guy named Roger Miller. And the inspiration for this song came while he was driving down the road. And he looked over in the field and saw this barn that had these words on it that said, "Trailers for sale, trailers for rent." And so he thought about that and thought, that'd make a nice song. So anyway, he came up with this song in 1964 called "King of the Road." And actually it's a story about a hobo who lived a life, to where he was being poor, and yet he reveled in this freedom that described himself humorously and cynically as the king of the road. So sometimes it's interesting to see how people classify themselves, when they're saying, well, hey, I'm free, I don't have any responsibilities, but at the same time, you can be a man of means by no means. And so that's what this whole song is about. And he felt like he was the king of the road because of this freedom that he had, but yet, that was all he had was freedom. He had nothing else. And so... trailer for sale, rent, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't hours of push and broom. I was an 8-foot-4-bedroom room. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. Third boxcar, midnight train, destination Bangor, Maine. Old worn out clothes and shoes, I don't pay no union dues. I smoke old stogies I have found, short but not too big around. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. I know every engineer on every train, all of their children, all of their names, every handout in every town, and every lock that ain't locked when no one's around. Trailer for sale, rooms to let 50 cents, no phone, no pool, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes, but 2 hours of push and broom. I was an 8-by-12-4-bedroom room. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. I'm a man of means by no means, king of the road. Thank you. One of my favorite soft rock and folk rock artists is James Taylor. And James Taylor had a pretty rough life. And when he started out performing, he lost a childhood friend of his. She committed suicide, and it just devastated him. And in the midst of all this, he was trying to form a band, and the name of that band was called The Flying Machine. And so it ended up that was a failure, and so all of this hardship that just kind of compiled and just kept building up in his life ended up bringing him to some really serious, deep depression. And so in the midst of all this, he was still trying to write songs and all this, and so he finished writing this song while he was in rehab. And the title of this song is called Fire and Rain. Drink here real quick. Speaking of rain, I need want something to drink. Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Susan, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. Well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend, but I always thought that I'd see you again. You look down upon me, Jesus. You gotta help me make a stand. You just got to help me through another day. pride is aching, and my time is at hand, and I can't make it any other way. Well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend, but I always thought that I'd see you again. Been walking my mind through an easy time, my back turned toward the sun. Lord knows when the cold wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on the telephone line to talk about things to come, sweet dreams and flying machines and pieces on the ground. Well, I've seen fire and I've seen rain, I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend, but I always thought that I'd see you again. Yes, I always thought that I'd see you again. Thought I'd see you one more time again. Thought I'd see you one more time again. Thought I'd see you one more time again. Fire and Rain. Thank you. All right. Well, I grew up on this folk singer, and he ended up being, I think, a combination of folk rock and folk and a little bit of country here and there, but Paul Simon. And Simon and Garfunkel, and so he was my inspiration in my teenage years, and just trying to learn finger picking on the guitar, and so this is, and this song was actually written. He went to England for a while and was traveling around just doing performances in nightclubs and stuff like that, and so this song was actually written on a train, a milk train of all things, that was on its way to London. And while he was on this train, he had met a girl earlier in England at one of these clubs that I guess he really started liking, and so he was thinking about her and was missing her, and so he wrote the lyrics to this song while he was thinking of her and on his way to London to do another performance. So anyway. I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination. On a tour of one-night stands, my suitcase and guitar in hand. Every stop is neatly planned for a poet and a one-man band. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound, home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Every day's an endless stream cigarettes and magazines. And each town looks the same to me, the movies and the factories, and every stranger's face I see reminds me that I long to be homeward bound. I wish I was homeward bound. Home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Well, tonight I'll sing my songs again, and I'll play the game and pretend. But all my words come back to me in shades of mediocrity, like emptiness in harmony. I need someone to comfort me. Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Home where my thoughts escaping, home where my music's playing, home where my love lies waiting silently for me. Silently for me. Silently for me. Silently for me. Thank you, thank you. All right, well, I hope everybody's enjoying the music and having a good day. So anyway, I'm enjoying being here and playing for you at the wonderful Scott County Library, and this is a wonderful place, and just encourage all of you to come out and see all the changes that it's made over the years, and it's just a wonderful place to come to. So I love being here and performing. So anyway, the next song I want to do for you, it was written by Neil Diamond, and Neil Diamond is one of those, he's actually one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. Sold over 100 million records of this, worldwide, of this particular song called Sweet Caroline. And the inspiration for him came looking at I'm a writer myself, and sometimes inspirations come at different times and different places. And Neil Diamond's inspiration on this particular song was on the photo of a magazine cover. And he was looking at this photo, and it was actually John F. Kennedy's daughter, Caroline, when she was 6 years old. And so they were out riding horses, and Caroline was on this horse riding, and that image just stuck in his head. And 5 years later, he ended up writing this song. And the neat thing about this was that he sang it for Caroline Kennedy on her 50th birthday in person. So this is a great little song. Where it began, I can't begin to know it. Oh, but then I know it's growing strong. Wasn't it spring? And then spring became the summer. Oh, who'd have believed that you come along? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Well, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I look at the night and it don't seem so lonely. Oh, we fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, all the hurting runs off my shoulder. Well, how can I hurt when I'm holding you? You're one, touching one, and reaching out, oh, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Well, I've been inclined to believe they never would. Well, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. Now I've been inclined to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline, sweet Caroline, sweet Caroline, oh, sweet Caroline. Thank you. Well, like I had mentioned earlier, sometimes when a writer is looking for inspiration, it comes in the strangest places, and so a lot of times it comes through hardships and difficulties, and this next song is the artist and the writer on this was Jim Croce, and so Jim Croce had been on the road a lot, and he was really struggling and having a hard time making ends meet, and he'd been out on the road a while, and he decided to come home for a weekend, and so his wife Ingrid was looking forward to him coming home and the family and everything, just so they could have a weekend together, and then he was back out on the road again. Well, what Jim Croce didn't mention to his wife that he had set up a film crew to come the next day, like 15 people, doing a production documentary on him, and she didn't know anything about it, and he didn't want to say anything to her about it because one of the things that Jim Croce didn't like was confrontation, and so he didn't want to mention this to her because he knew that it was going to start an argument. And so anyway, here they come the next day, and she was just furious, and so she had to end up fixing breakfast and lunch and supper, and they were just living, hand to mouth, financially. So anyway, that night when they were going to bed, she said, well, where are we going to get all this money from, what are we going to do here, Jim? And he got really mad because he didn't like to talk about money. He didn't like confrontation. So he just got up and walked out and went down stairs to the table and just sat there with his hands in his head and just, I guess, was sulking in all this moment, and got out his pencil and paper and wrote this song right in the midst of everything that he was feeling with this friction between him and his wife. And so he spent all night writing this song. So the next morning, when she was waking up, he goes up with his guitar and sings to her while she's in her bed. And so this was his way of trying to make amends to his wife. Well, I know that it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you. What I gotta say can't wait. I know you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Well, I know that it's kind of strange, but every time I'm near you, I just run out of things to say. I know you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Every time the time was right, all the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Well, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you. Something I've gotta say. I know you'd understand. Every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Every time I tried to tell you, all the words just came out wrong. So I have to say I love you in a song. Nice way to say I'm sorry, isn't it? Well, speaking of just trying to survive as a musician and as an artist, trying to make it when all the chips are down and just seems like the doors are closing faster than they ever open to you. It's a struggle out there for a lot of musicians and a lot of artists. And even in this last year with COVID, it's been a tough thing for a lot of musicians, and myself included. So it's I had the whole year booked actually, and just in one moment it all got canceled. And so, but here's a story of a man who has paid his dues and just couldn't seem to find the breaks until one day he met a guy named Larry Weiss that wrote a song that he really loved, and he thought, this is my story. I want to sing this song. And Glenn Campbell sang this song, and it's called Rhinestone Cowboy. So it's just talking about making it and surviving it when the chips are down. I've been walking these streets so long, singing the same old song. I know every crack in these dirty sidewalks of Broadway, where hustle's the name of the game, and nice guys get washed away like the snow in the rain. Load of compromising on this road to my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy. I'm riding out on rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, and offers coming over the phone. Well, I really don't mind the rain. A smile can hide all the pain, but you're down when you're riding the train that's taken the long way. Well, I dream of things I'll do with a subway token and $1 tucked in my shoe. There'll be a load of compromising on this road to my horizon. But I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me, like a rhinestone cowboy. I'm riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy, getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, like a rhinestone cowboy. I'm riding out on a horse in a star-spangled rodeo, like a rhinestone cowboy. I'm getting cards and letters from people I don't even know, like a rhinestone cowboy. Thank you. All right, my last one is this is a great song. It was written by Carole King, actually, and I love her song, You've Got a Friend. And she released this on an album called the Tapestry album, and man, is it a great album. And so an interesting thing about this, Carole King wrote this and released this in 1971, but the interesting story about this is that her and James Taylor, which was a friend of hers, released it simultaneously at the same time. And so they shared musicians and did this release at the same time. So you will hear both versions of Carole King and James Taylor on this song. And so it just, and they both got Grammys from this song. So James Taylor got a Grammy for being the best male pop vocal of the year, and Carole King got a Grammy for this song being the song of the year. So anyway, it's called You've Got a Friend. So when you're down in trouble and you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there, yes I will. You got a friend. You got a friend. If the sky above you should turn dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together, oh, and call my name out loud. soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you got to do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. Hey, ain't it good to know that you got a friend? When people can be so cold, they'll hurt you and desert you and take your soul if you let them. Don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You got a friend. You got a friend. You got a friend. Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know? Ain't it good to know that you got a friend? You got a friend. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the music, and look forward to seeing you next time. So enjoy your day, and stay safe, and everybody just think of the Scott County Library if you want to come and visit a place that's kind of a neat place to come to and see all the things that are happening. So on behalf of the Scott County Library, God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you. I'm sitting in the railway station, got a ticket for my destination.